The greatest misconception about narcissistic abuse is thinking its effects fade with time. You might assume that leaving the toxic environment will magically restore normalcy, but it's far more complex. Survivors often develop behaviors that may seem perplexing, both to others and to themselves. These are coping mechanisms shaped by chaos and survival instincts. Today, we'll explore some of these behaviors, why they happen, and how to address them. Comment 1 if you think this topic is worth discussing, or 0 if you think it's not that important. Before we dive in, don't forget to show me some love by liking and commenting on this video. By doing this, you're not only supporting my work, but also helping the algorithm recognize this content as valuable and share it with more people who need this information. So, can I count on your support? And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button by clicking the logo on the bottom right of this video. Don't miss out on future updates. Let's dive in. 1. Over-explaining. Survivors of narcissistic abuse often feel the need to over-explain their thoughts and actions, as if convincing others and themselves of their validity. This habit stems from constantly justifying yourself to the narcissist to avoid conflict or criticism. Over time, this behavior becomes second nature, leading you to provide excessive details even in casual conversations. It can be exhausting and frustrating, making interactions feel like a performance. Therapist Dr. Jennifer Freed explains that being invalidated during abuse can make your voice feel insignificant, causing you to compensate by offering more information than necessary. You may feel like you must prove your worth or avoid being misunderstood. While understandable, this behavior can perpetuate feelings of insecurity and self-doubt. To overcome over-explaining, start small. Practice expressing your thoughts in concise statements and remind yourself that you don't owe anyone extensive explanations for your feelings or choices. Journaling can also help you reflect on what's truly important to communicate. Gradually, this practice will rebuild your confidence and reduce the pressure to justify yourself. Remember, your voice is inherently valid, and your emotions deserve to be heard without excessive elaboration. 2. Compulsive self-monitoring. After experiencing narcissistic abuse, you might become hyper-aware of your actions, words, and even facial expressions, almost as if you're your own security camera. This behavior stems from the constant criticism and manipulation endured during the abuse, leaving you in a state of high alert. Survivors often feel the need to monitor themselves to avoid mistakes or conflict, even in safe environments. Dr. Robin Stern, author of The Gaslight Effect, explains that narcissistic abuse erodes self-trust, making you question everything you do. Even minor slip-ups may feel catastrophic, fueling the need for constant self-checking. This vigilance, while once a protective mechanism, can become exhausting and interfere with authentic self-expression. To ease this behavior, focus on mindfulness and self-acceptance. Grounding techniques, such as deep breathing or meditation, can help center you in the present moment. Affirmations can also remind you that it's okay to let your guard down. Over time, practicing small acts of spontaneity, like speaking freely without overthinking, can help rebuild your trust in yourself. Remember, you deserve to exist without constant scrutiny, and it's safe to be yourself. 3. Talking in circles. Survivors of narcissistic abuse often develop the habit of talking in circles, avoiding direct answers as if walking on eggshells. This behavior emerges as a defense mechanism to prevent conflict. During the abuse, even innocent comments may have been twisted or used against you, leading you to tread carefully with your words. Dr. Ramani Durvasula, a clinical psychologist, notes that narcissists create an atmosphere of uncertainty, making survivors feel perpetually unsafe. As a result, talking indirectly becomes a way to dodge potential confrontation or manipulation. However, this habit can make communication feel frustrating or confusing, both for yourself and others. To break this pattern, practice direct communication in safe, supportive environments. Start by articulating your thoughts clearly with trusted friends or in therapy. Role-playing scenarios can also help you build confidence in asserting your voice. Remind yourself that your feelings and opinions matter and that you deserve to express them without fear. With time and effort, you'll feel more empowered to speak openly, knowing that your words hold value. 4. Binge eating or restriction. Food often becomes a coping mechanism for survivors of narcissistic abuse. For some, binge eating provides temporary comfort, filling an emotional void created by the chaos of the abusive relationship. For others, restricting food intake offers a sense of control in an otherwise unstable world. Both behaviors reflect attempts to manage overwhelming emotions. Dr. Ramani Durvasula explains that the emotional turbulence caused by narcissistic abuse often leaves survivors feeling powerless. Turning to food either as comfort or punishment can become a way to reclaim some semblance of stability. However, these patterns can lead to physical and emotional challenges, compounding the survivor's stress. To heal your relationship with food, focus on nourishing your body with healthy choices and understanding the emotional triggers behind your eating habits. Keeping a food journal or seeking support from a nutritionist or therapist can be helpful. Mindful eating, paying attention to your body's hunger and fullness cues, can also foster a healthier dynamic with food. Remember, your worth isn't tied to how you eat, and small, consistent steps towards self-care can make a significant difference. Still with me? Drop a yes in the comments to let me know you're tuned in. 5. Compulsive Googling. Survivors of narcissistic abuse may develop a habit of compulsive Googling, searching for validation or reassurance online. This behavior stems from a need to find answers to doubts or questions that were dismissed or belittled during the abusive relationship. The internet becomes a refuge where survivors seek clarity, often spending hours researching minor details to avoid mistakes or feel secure. Psychologist Dr. Alexander Solomon explains that when survivors are made to feel their emotions or thoughts don't matter, they often turn to external sources for validation. While seeking knowledge can be helpful, over-researching can create new anxieties, as conflicting information may exacerbate self-doubt. To manage compulsive Googling, set specific time limits for online searches and practice trusting your intuition. Create a list of trusted sources to avoid spiraling into endless information. Remind yourself that your feelings and decisions are valid without constant external confirmation. As you build confidence in your judgment, the urge to seek validation online will diminish. 6. Adopting new personas. Many survivors of narcissistic abuse find themselves changing their behavior or personality to fit in with different groups. During the abuse, you may have constantly adjusted yourself to please the narcissist, losing touch with your own identity. This habit can persist post-abuse as a way to gain approval and avoid conflict. Trauma expert Dr. Gabor notes that living in emotional survival mode disconnects survivors from their authentic selves. As a result, you might feel unsure of who you are, relying on others' expectations to guide your behavior. While this adaptation once protected you, it can prevent you from discovering your true self. Start by exploring your interests and values without external influence. Journaling, therapy, or engaging in new hobbies can help you reconnect with your authentic self. Surround yourself with people who encourage you to be genuine and provide a safe space for self-expression. Rebuilding your identity is a gradual process, but it's a vital step toward healing. 7. Engaging in self-care extremes. Self-care after narcissistic abuse can swing to extremes. Some survivors overindulge, treating themselves excessively with spa days or luxurious routines. Others neglect their basic needs, skipping meals or ignoring hygiene. These swings often stem from trying to regain control or soothe self-doubt. Dr. Ramani Durvasula explains that self-care can feel overwhelming after abuse, as survivors struggle to find balance. Indulgence may temporarily mask pain, while neglect reflects feelings of unworthiness. However, neither extreme leads to lasting comfort or healing. Are you with me? If you are, type 2 in the comments and let me know you're still watching. Focus on creating a balanced self-care routine that incorporates both indulgence and basic necessities. Set small, consistent goals like drinking enough water, maintaining hygiene, and treating yourself occasionally. Over time, these habits can help stabilize your self-care practices and promote overall well-being. 8. Impulsive spending. Shopping can become an emotional outlet for survivors of narcissistic abuse, offering temporary relief from inner turmoil. However, impulsive purchases often lead to regret, as financial strain replaces the fleeting sense of happiness. Psychotherapist Dr. John Amadeo notes that impulsive spending fills an emotional void but rarely addresses the underlying issues. Survivors may associate buying new things with reclaiming a sense of control, even if the high is short-lived. To curb impulsive spending, establish a budget and adopt mindful shopping habits. Delaying purchases for 24 hours can help distinguish between genuine needs and emotional impulses. Reflecting on your motivations for shopping can also reduce the urge to splurge. 9. Touching your face frequently. Repetitive face touching, particularly around the mouth and chin, is a common self-soothing behavior among survivors. This habit often reflects underlying anxiety or discomfort stemming from the stress of narcissistic abuse. Psychologist Dr. Tara Well explains that such gestures are subconscious attempts to find comfort. While not inherently harmful, they may indicate unresolved tension or emotional distress. Practice mindfulness to become aware of this habit and consider replacing it with calming alternatives, like holding a stress ball or practicing grounding exercises. Recognizing the underlying anxiety can help you address its root cause. 10. Rocking slightly back and forth. Some survivors develop a habit of rocking slightly back and forth while standing. This behavior often signals lingering tension or unease, especially when faced with kindness or care. Survivors may perceive genuine gestures as suspicious, fearing hidden agendas. Psychologist Dr. Stephen Stosny explains that abusive experiences can train survivors to associate kindness with manipulation. Over time, this defensive response becomes ingrained. Recognizing this reaction is the first step toward healing. Allow yourself time to process genuine care without pressure to reciprocate immediately. Therapy can also help you rebuild trust in others and yourself, allowing you to feel safe in relationships again. In wrapping up, remember that the behaviors we've explored are not signs of weakness or flaws. They're survival tactics shaped by the intense challenges of narcissistic abuse. Recognizing them is a powerful first step toward healing and reclaiming your life. Recovery is a journey, and it's okay to take it one day at a time. Be patient with yourself, celebrate small victories, and know that brighter days are ahead. If you found this video helpful or insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel and lets me know what kind of content you'd like to see more of. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Let's support and learn from each other. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Together, we can navigate this journey toward healing and self-discovery. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.